Thomas and friends, the adventure begins. A long time ago on the island of Sodor, there was a little railway known as the Northwestern. The smallest engine working on the main line was Edward. He helped with shunting cars and coaches in the yard. For the larger engine, the biggest engine on the railway was Gordon. He loved pulling the express, but he didn't much care for some of his other jobs.
A goods train. A goods train. The shame of it. Oh, the shame of it.
Oh, Gordon, it can't be that bad.
But thankfully, I won't have to pull goods trains for long. Not after the new engine gets here.
New engine? What new engine?
Haven't you heard? Sir Topham Hatt is getting another engine. That last one he got, with the wooden brake box, was much too small to be really useful.
But I'm not small. I might not be as big as you, Gordon, but I'm bigger than Edward. And there's nothing wrong with wooden brake blocks either.
Unless they catch fire, of course.
My brakes don't catch fire. They're just as good as yours.
Gordon didn't like pulling heavy goods trains. But he especially didn't like pulling them up the big hill on the main line.
Oh, I give up.
The man in charge of the little railway was Sir Topham Hatt.
Oh, dear. Okay. Goodbye.
Hello, Gordon. I've come to push.
I've done it! I've done it! I've done it! Oh, I knew I could do it!
Not even so much as a thank you. Oh.
Later, Edward was back in the yard when he heard a voice he'd never heard before.
Excuse me, can you tell me where Knapford is? But this is Knapford. Where are you from? Oh, right on the mainland.
Sir Topham Hatt's new engine.
Edward couldn't believe his eyes. The new engine had 6 small wheels, a short stumpy boiler, a short stumpy dome, and a short stumpy funnel.
I always wanted to come here.
Hello? What's the matter? Do I have soot on my face?
No, it's just, well, you're not a big engine.
Yes, I am. No, you're not.
Well, I was big enough to do my work on the mainland.
Wait! All I meant was, you're not as big as I am.
I may not be as big as you, but I'm very hardworking.
And who are you?
I'm Thomas.
The new engine.
Oh, dear. Sir Topham Hatt must have made a terrible mistake. I think he was expecting someone really useful.
I am really useful.
For fetching coaches, perhaps. Oh well, if you stick around long enough, you might be lucky enough to see me pulling the express. That will be a fine sight for you.
Sorry about Gordon, Thomas. I'm afraid he's often like that. I'm Edward, by the way.
And I'm James.
Hello.
And here comes the boss.
Sir Topham Hatt.
Oh, you must be Thomas, my new tank engine. Welcome to Sodor. I am Sir Topham Hatt.
I'm pleased to meet you, sir.
I'm very pleased to meet you too. So, I expect you to make yourself really useful right away. Edward will show you what to do.
Watch this. Wake up, lazy bones! Why don't you work hard like me?
That night, Thomas was the smallest engine at Tidmouth Sheds. But at least his new friend Edward was there too.
I like being on Sodor, Edward. I just can't wait until I get to pull trains.
You'd better learn how to shunt cars and coaches first, Thomas.
Oh, I'll soon get the hang of shunting, Edward. But I want to see the world.
Faster! 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 Oh, turn!
Who's that?
That's Henry. He's a very kind engine, but he's a bit of a worrier. And he doesn't like rain. Once an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain. He rushed into a tunnel and squeaked through his funnel and never came out again. The rain will spoil my lovely green paint and red stripes, he said. In the end, they took up the old rails, built a wall in front of him, and left him there. Oh, Sir Topham Hatt let him out eventually, after Gordon burst his safety valve and couldn't pull
All right, story time is over. Some of us have to get some sleep.
Oh.
The next day, Sir Topham Hatt sent Thomas to the steamworks to be repainted in the colours he liked to see on the Northwestern Railway.
Edward! Edward! Look, Edward, look! I'm blue, just like you!
You're also number one.
Does that mean I'm the best?
The last number one was a coffee pot.
Coffee pot?
Coffee pot is just a nickname for an engine with a boiler that points up in the air. The coffee pot engines used to look after one of the branch lines, but they don't work there now. Although, I think the last one might still be on a siding.
Stop chatting and bring me my coaches.
I say, where are you taking us?
To Gordon! It's time for the express!
But we're not the express coaches. I'm Annie, and she is Clarabelle.
And the express coaches are on the other sidings.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, your ladyships. You see, I'm new around here. I'm Thomas.
Oh, what a sweet little engine.
Indeed, Annie. Delightful.
He'll go far, Clarabelle. Just you wait and see.
Thomas wasn't used to working in the yard on his own. It was very busy all day long.
Here's James!
Oh, James! Careful!
Do you smell something smoky, James? Like a burning smell?
No, not really. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Henry. Henry, can I ask you something? Did you really hide in a tunnel because of some rain?
Yes, Thomas, I did.
But, well, rain is just water. The same as you put in your boiler. So, how could you be afraid of it?
I don't know, Thomas. I can't explain it. I just am. And I don't like being teased about it.
But I'm not teasing, Henry. I was just asking. I mean, you can't stop the rain, and you don't want to go around worrying all the time.
Oh, I don't worry all the time, Thomas. I hardly worry at all. When it's sunny.
Huh?
The next morning, Thomas found it hard to wake up. His fire went out and there wasn't enough steam.
You need to wake up, Thomas. It's nearly time for the express. Gordon will be waiting for his coaches.
Oh dear, oh dear. Must get going, must get going.
Hurry up, you!
Gordon hadn't forgiven Thomas for waking him up from his nap. He started up so quickly that there was no time to uncouple Thomas. Poor Thomas was going faster than he'd ever gone before.
Express coming through!
The train now approaching platform 1 is the 817 Express to Vicarstown.
Oh, yes. Well, little Thomas, now you know what hard work is like, don't you?
Poor Thomas puffed slowly away to rest and had a long drink. The next day, he was back in the yard again.
Ta-da! You can take my cars away now, Thomas. I'm ready for my coaches.
Oh, you're such a show-off, James.
Maybe I am. But you just wait and see if Sir Topham Hatt doesn't give me my own branch light soon.
There's that burning smell again.
Huh?
One morning, Henry wasn't feeling well. He wouldn't come out of the shed.
Is it because you think it might rain today, Henry?
No, Thomas. I think there's something wrong with my boiler. I might not be able to pull my coaches today.
Thomas waited and waited, but still Henry didn't come.
You'll have to do it then, Thomas. Be quick now.
Yes, sir! Sir?
Don't be impatient now, Thomas. Wait until everything is ready.
But Thomas was far too excited and not really listening. Thomas heard the guard's whistle, so he took off before his coaches could be coupled up.
Thomas! Thomas! Stop! Look back!
Hello, Thomas. What are you doing here?
I'm pulling my very first passenger train. Can't you see?
Really? Then where are your coaches?
Oh, no!
The other engines thought it was very funny when they heard the story of Thomas's train.
I'm glad you came to work on our railway, Thomas. You always give us something funny to laugh about.
Sir Topham Hatt will never let me pull trains again. But I want to go places and do things. I want to
See the world!
Don't be sad, Thomas. If you really want to go out, why don't you take my goods train tomorrow? I can take over in the yard if you like.
Really? Would you do that, Edward, for me?
Yes, Thomas, I would. Now let's get some sleep, okay?
Oh, Edward, I wish it was morning.
The next morning, Thomas could hardly contain his excitement.
Is it these ones? Is it those? Which cars are they, Edward?
Those cars, Thomas, but wait, I need to tell you something.
I know. I have to be coupled up before I go. You don't have to tell me. I've learned my lesson.
Troublesome trucks can play tricks on you, Thomas. It's not the same as in the yard. They'll push you off the rails if you're not careful. Thomas, be careful!
Thomas, what are you doing here? And why did you come in so fast?
I brought Edward's cars for him, sir, but they were pushing me.
You've a lot to learn about cars, little Thomas. That's why I asked Edward to bring these cars, and not you. If you're not prepared to be patient and learn how to do things properly, I'll have to keep you in the shed.
No, sir. Please, sir, I want to learn. I want to be a really useful engine.
Sir Topham Hatt was not just cross with Thomas. He was cross with Edward too. He told both his engines that they'd have to stay in the yard until Thomas could learn as much about cars as Edward.
I'm sorry, Edward. This is all my fault.
Never mind, Thomas. At least we're working together again.
Who's meant to be taking these coaches? Henry!
Thomas, where are you going now? You're meant to stay in the yard.
Thomas was hurrying back to Tidmouth Sheds to find Henry.
Henry! Your passengers are waiting.
You take the train, Thomas. You like pulling trains.
No, Henry. It's your train. And besides, Edward and I have to stay in the yard.
Well, I have to stay in the shed. It's raining, Thomas. A lot.
But Henry, don't you want to pull your train? Don't you want to hurry along the tracks like... It's only water, Henry. Come on. Just little drops of water. That's what rain is. Water.
Like I put in my boiler?
Exactly. Your passengers are waiting, Henry. See? Only water. It washes right off.
Only water. Just water.
Thomas worked hard in the yard now. He knew that he wasn't as clever as he had thought. Besides, he wanted to learn all about cars and coaches to be a really useful engine.
Sir Topham Hatt is coming by this afternoon, Thomas, to see how you're getting on.
I'm getting on okay now, aren't I?
Of course you are. I think you nearly know as much about cars as I do now.
Help! They're pushing me! They're pushing me!
James! Thomas! Thomas! Come back!
Oh dear! Help! Help! I don't want to go any faster! My brakes! Stop! I want to stop! Oh, Thomas!
Use your brakes! Use your brakes!
I can't! My brake blocks are on fire! They're made of wood!
I'm going to try to couple up behind you, James! I'm going to try to slow you down!
Hurry, Thomas! Wait!
Couple me up! Couple me up! I need to slow James down! Oh no! again! Try again!
All right.
We mustn't give up! We have to try!
Faster! Faster!
Coming off the rails! Edward was right. Cars can run an engine right off the rails.
Oh.
Stay right there, James. I'll go and get help.
At last, James was lifted safely onto the track. Sir Topham Hatt had come to make sure that everyone was okay.
Well done, Thomas. Now, I'd like you to take James to the steamworks. Do you know the way?
Yes, sir. I do, sir.
That night, the other engines were very happy to see Thomas indeed.
Well done, Thomas. Today you really were the best engine.
Even Gordon seemed impressed.
What you did was terrific.
Really useful, that's what I'd say. James shall have new brakes, a bit of repair here and there, and a new coat of paint. And you, Thomas, due to your unselfish bravery and heroism, you have shown yourself worthy of having your own branch line.
My own branch line?
Congratulations, Thomas.
But who will fetch our coaches for us, sir? Tender engines are not meant to shunt.
I don't know, Gordon. Perhaps you'll have to fetch your own until I can get another small engine like Thomas.
But...
A few days later, an engine came into the yard that Thomas and Edward had never seen before.
James? Is that really you?
Of course it is. How do you like my new paintwork?
Wow, James, you look splendid.
I know. I'm ready for my coaches.
We're Thomas's coaches now, James.
That's right. And he's got his very own branch line, too.
Off to see the world now, Thomas?
Yes, Edward, I am.
Oh,
Wake up, lazy bones! Really useful engine coming through!
Oh, the indignity.
Oh, you must be the new #1.
I'm Thomas.
Well, look after the branch line, Thomas, and wear that number with pride.
Don't worry, Mr. Coffee Pot. I will. You can count on me.
But I'm not Mr. Coffee Pot. My name is Glenn.
He's a really useful engine, you know. All the other engines, they'll tell you so. He huffs and puffs and whistles, rushing to and fro. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's a really useful engine, you know. 'Cause the fat controller, he told him so. Now he's got a punchline to call his very own. He's the really useful engine we adore. He's the one, he's the number one. Thomas the Tank Engine. He's the really useful engine.